Hello, everyone. So you're looking at a can of soda. Now, you see things like this every day, but this is no ordinary can of soda because this holds the solution to pollution. Now, I know that pollution is bigger than one person, is bigger than one country, it's bigger than one industry. Pollution is a very complex issue. And I don't want to belittle that issue, but I still want to make a point that we individuals can do a lot with pollution. So my main argument in this video will be that pollution is also a failure of the imagination. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is that you should examine when you think you have trash in your hands, as is the case. You should examine it carefully because this is actually a very complex thing, and most trash is complex. Just because it doesn't have an immediate use for us doesn't mean it's not useful. We just have to be creative and imaginative, and that's the point I'm trying to make. So, before I had nothing, it was blank. I bought a soda, I drank it, suddenly there's trash. Now, there is a reason, and I'm just going to use the soda as an example. I mean, I don't care about the brand. I'm just trying to make a point here. So there is a reason why this trash has this shape, this color, these properties, this material. This trash is the way it is because of what the function that it was performing before. So for example, we know it's made of aluminum, it's metal, the inside is coated so it can hold the liquid. And that liquid it's food grade liquid, and it can also survive. The container protects it from external conditions. Now, just off that, suddenly you had nothing, you have your experience of drinking a soda, and then you have this, which looks like trash. But you can do a lot with this as it is already. So for example, I have tried and I have grown successfully plants inside of this. Now, whether you just fill it with hydroponic minerals, for example, and then you put your seedling in after cleaning or before, first you clean the can and then you add the nutrients. Now you have a growing container. The plant will grow here. I mean, it's made to protect the roots from light. You can use the properties that were used to protect the liquid that you consume to do something also useful for you. Because at the end of the day, there was energy and time and effort put into this. Even though the process was automated, there was still energy. There is energy that is in a passive form. You just have to unlock it with your creativity, so to speak. That's the kind of point I'm trying to make. Now, this particular one is kind of red and black. There are other ones. For example, I think the normal Pepsi Max is completely black, or the Coke Zero, for example. Now, when you have a can that is a certain dark color like that, that means you have a very low albedo, which absorbs heat. So already I can think of another use for a simple can as this, which is you cut the top, you cut the bottom, you get several of these, you put them in a tube, you put them inside a container with a glass side. Suddenly you can heat air or water depending on how well you tighten the connections. You have an air heater or a water heater. You can use solar radiation now to do something useful for you, just from a can, just from waste. And that's not it. For example, I can think of another thing you can do with a can. I mean, barring all else, you can imagine it's slightly damaged, you cannot, or has a hole, you cannot use it for the hydroponic use, for example, or you cannot use to hold air or water tightly to use as a heater or a water heater. You still have metal. That's something you don't just find in nature, right? There was effort in extracting this metal, in processing it, in coloring it, in transporting it here. You have metal, and we know that metals have properties. They can be good for construction. So if you just, I don't know, cut it along here, and you unfold it, you have a sheet of aluminium that you can use to build things. You can use to bend into shapes. You can use to, I don't know, support a structure. If you get enough of these, you can do many things. So here, this is the point. I think it's a bit clear now that I'm trying to make, which is everything that you think is trash, you can use for something. You just have to be creative. So in this case, there's the can, but it could be plastic bags. It could be, I don't know, so many things out there that you think is trash. Just go along the street and you might find some trash that's not in the trash can. You could always find a use for it. It's just you have to be creative and you have to have, I don't know, some goals or some interests or hobbies that point you in the direction where you can use trash in that way.